Anyway, I think we're live. I can't tell yet until this bubble disappears. Look, no one's watching. That's different to normal. Oh well, never mind. Oh yeah, Neil's there. Yeah. Do you get a Mars bar for first comment, Neil? Is that a known thing on YouTube? That whoever, do you have Mars bars in America, Mark?
I've never had one. Maybe we do. I don't know. I don't
think so. And Eddie's there as well. Yeah, because I realised there's certain things that we mentioned. I'm not sure how well they cross the pond. Toby's here with me. I'll introduce Toby in a minute.
Hi.
Something you mentioned last week, Mark, was using the word Hoover. Well, the other day I was in here sanding, and I left the door open to let the sanding out, and I went and sat in my house for a couple of hours. I came back and I thought I'd left the door open, and my Hoover was on. Oh. And I don't know, it definitely wasn't on when I left, because I would have noticed it. So I think a cat came in and must have sat, because there's no way that Hoover can just turn on its own, because it's got a massive chunky button on it. And sometimes the cat comes in and climbs all over the place and then goes out again.
Did you walk out of your shop with your hearing protection on?
What? No. Okay. And the last thing I was doing was oiling stuff, so definitely would have noticed the Hoover. But anyway, what a shit story to start with.
Yeah.
Hey, so look, Toby's here because we're working on the one-string guitars, so I'll talk about them in a bit. But I just mentioned to Mark, I'm sorry to have broken the news to you, Mark, but that I found out that Ken Parker passed away yesterday. We've been talking about him quite a lot on and off on here. So because I saw a post that you put up, Mark, took crowdfunding for medical help for him that was very recent. So I'm not sure if he sort of made it public. Why would you need to make it public or not? But my Instagram feed this morning was full of lots of guitar builders mentioning him, and surprisingly quite a lot of them had interacted with him at some point, either I guess asking him for help or talking to him about his builds or meeting him at shows, or sometimes it sounded like just emailing him and having a chat.
Yeah, I've been, like I said, I was pretty oblivious to anything going outside of work the last few days, so I had no clue. When you broke it to me, this is somber news. I'm devastated right now. This is crazy.
Now, if I remember the backstory, Mark, you've owned a few Parker Flies in the past, and you're a fan of them. You've experienced them, and obviously we've talked about. I remember you talking a lot about his YouTube channel recently being about his archtop building, and how interesting it is, and how full of tips and advice, and how innovative his videos are and his builds are anyway.
Yeah. We're lucky. So like he started his channel relatively recently, like in the last few years. And I'm so happy he did, because you have these very experienced luthiers, with just gigantic past. And it's just a shame that all their knowledge is just kind of stuck in their heads. And I think all these older luthiers that have, the 20 plus experience, they all need YouTube channels. They need to chronicle and they need to archive everything that they've learned. And Ken Parker is very unique in that he's got unique processes, unique tooling, and he uses actually unique materials as well. And he actually covers that like on his channel. So he does a lot of like lamination with like resins for like that strong exoskeleton. So he'll use softwoods as like the wood on his neck, no truss rod, but he'll use like an exterior exoskeleton with like this linen and resin. Like it's just crazy what he does, and it works. And so like having that chronicled, and he shows you his jigs, his tools, his process, and it's just wonderful that he captured it all before he passed away. Like we're lucky. We're very lucky.
I'm going to have to go through that archive. I was saying to Mark that I went on YouTube earlier. I had about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I watched the beginning of the first 10 minutes of a half-hour video by Andre Fludd, who I think is brilliant. I first came across him when he did a breakdown of Strandberg guitars, like properly in depth. And he's clearly a fan of Ken Parker. And I think the video he put up must have been an old one that he's putting up again. So it's half an hour breaking down why Ken Parker was so innovative and what he did that was really innovative, but also like a sort of biography of Ken. But what I found interesting is he was talking about the understanding the innovation that Ken Parker did and how it hasn't really been carried on by other people. It's sort of been lost. And he compared it to the idea of Concorde. So when Concorde was built, we changed a 7.5-hour flight across the Atlantic from UK to America to being 2.5 hours. And then when Concorde stopped flying, it's gone back to 7.5 hours. No one else has made a aeroplane of that sort of design with that sort of technology.
Right.
Why?
He mentions it. He briefly touches on his video where he says that even though guitarists think they're progressive, they're very conservative. Like we are all very conservative traditionalists, and it's really kind of hard to break away from that past and that tradition.
Yeah. Well, it's clear in your videos, Mark, with your acrylic fretboards and stuff like that, you're following his innovations of trying to break away from that tradition. Yeah, one of the things Andre Fludd said is, although people have been using composite materials like Ken Parker might have done, a lot of those ones that Ken Parker made start off as wood, which some of the newer other people don't necessarily use. But he was saying that his Parker flies weigh, I'm so terrible with things that aren't in kilograms, 4 pounds, I think he said, 4 pounds. And the lighter Steinberger, which doesn't even have a head, which doesn't even have a head, is 4.5 pounds. So there's still not being able to match the lightness that he was getting, even though he was using wood, because of the process being so different.
That's crazy to think about, right? Like a Steinberger is like 4.5, 4.7 pounds, and his Parker with the headstock and tuners, it's just much lighter. It's just crazy to think.
Yeah. Apparently when he was first building the necks, whatever system he used to make the necks that you were just talking about, they were so solid that the truss rod didn't work on them. You couldn't make it move, basically. Not in the first run of actual production models, but in the
right.
iterations.
Actually, I watched a live stream with him. He had a very old live stream from probably maybe a decade ago, and he was talking to people about this. And yeah, they added a strip of carbon fiber that runs along the entire length of the neck, all the way to the headstock and all the way through the body. And that alone was able to give the neck the stiffness to resist the pull of the strings. And like they mentioned, it's a specific width. I believe it's like 1.5 inches wide, but it goes all along. Anyway, in the live stream, he was saying that they didn't have to put a truss rod in, right? But in the end, they needed to because it was expected. Like the market dictated you need to have a truss rod in there, but he didn't need one. Like he clearly stated, like you did not need one, but we had to put one in, or else no one would understand it.
Yeah, yeah. People wouldn't buy it because they just assume it wouldn't last. Yeah, crazy.
And that's kind of like where I want to go to next. Like I keep thinking about like we're talking about 3D printing necks and how the filament maybe is not the strongest material, but it doesn't matter anymore. Like you don't need a strong core. You just need basically a sort of exoskeleton around it to make it stiff. So even if you kind of followed in Ken's footsteps and kind of wrapped your filament 3D printed neck in some kind of like carbon fiber, that would be stiff enough and you wouldn't even need a truss rod. At least that's what I think and like what I'd like to try.
So I've been thinking about things like that. So the 3D printed neck, the advantage of that is you can print it at home. Doesn't make a mess. Maybe when you're wrapping it, you might make mess, but in a different way. But I kind of feel like I'm really excited by 3D printing, as everyone knows. But I feel like even though I know that when I'm 3D printing with filament, it's got less impact on the environment than buying and shipping plastic around the world and stuff like that, I'd still rather find ways to make it with things that were more eco-friendly in some way.
I hear you. Yeah.
But I'm convinced that
Yeah.
3D printing will evolve to include materials that are like that.
And on that note, recently, like in the last week or two, Strandberg released their new Bowden model, and Ola Strandberg was stating that they're no longer using carbon graphite reinforcement rods in their necks. They're using titanium because it's more eco-friendly. You can recycle titanium. So I think that's a really cool step forward, where you're using a material that is 100% lighter, stronger, and then also friendly for the environment. So titanium strengthening rods instead of carbon graphite, I think that's the way to go now too.
I'm just looking them up. So what did you say the new model was called?
Bowden.
The Bowden NX or
I think it's the latest. I don't know that. Yeah.
oh, here we go. Bowden Essential 6 on their website is the newest one.
No, well, I don't think so. Maybe it is the NX. You'll take a look. Yeah.
I'll do a share and we can. I'm on one screen, so I confuse myself when I share things. Oh, it looks cool. So that might not be the newest one. It just said new next to it. Maybe it's a new color. Oh, it's a new web exclusive. It says.
Well, they just announced it. It might as well be. It might be on their front page.
Yeah, I wonder. Also, may not be on the. Oh, there it is. Bowden N2 Series next step.
That's the one. Yeah.
Anyway, we're going silent while we're looking at this, and I'm thinking, can I afford one? Toby, well, we're getting in a minute, has just sold a guitar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're much more expensive than the other ones I looked at just now. Oh look, 8-string. Just saying. So actually, I look totally changing the point. Let me end my screen share. Looking at new guitars, I'm going to change the camera around. Can we both get in? Does that work? No. I know we'll work if I do this. Oh, so were you about to say something, Mark?
No, I can see you both. Go for it.
There we go. Yeah. So Toby's so we're building guitars together. We'll talk about that later. But Toby is also a guitar player and studied music and guitar.
Yes,
studied guitar.
it is. Yes.
Plays bass.
Yeah.
But he said something that I felt was interesting because he's selling a guitar. Because you said you just need all your guitars do something different for you. And if you have two that do the same thing, it's a bit pointless.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've got an ancient Washburn MG34 that I've had since I was about 13 or 14 or something like that. I love that guitar. And I've got this beautiful Vigier Excalibur custom. I mean, this guitar is incredible. But because I've had the Washburn so long, and effectively they serve the same purpose, they've both got Floyd Roses, the same tuning. I always go to the Washburn.
Yeah, right.
So the Vigier's just kind of sat there gathering dust, and it's such a shame because it's a beautiful instrument. I mean, it's just absolutely divine. But my Washburn's got a DiMarzio X2N in the bridge, and it just sounds epic.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
and your Vigier, does it have a truss rod?
No.
Right.
That's
yeah.
Nice. So what you were saying earlier, because I know Patrice, so he's been making guitars without truss rods since the early 80s. Originally, he made carbon necks, but then he switched to what they call the 90-10 system.
90-10, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's incredible. So I've worked a lot of guitar shows with the Vigier guys. I used to be in a band with the guy that reps for the UK, and we had this demonstration half neck that we'd always try and get people to bend. And you'd always see it where someone comes along, picks it up, like, I can't bend that, and then you see the knee coming up towards it, and just don't do it. And I've seen so many people just go bam.
Yeah. And hobble off.
Yeah. But yeah, it's such an incredible design. The tuning stability on those guitars is just insane. I've got a 5-string Vigier bass as well, and I never have to tune it. It's great. I love it.
That's so cool. I've always wanted one.
Oh, yeah. It's well, Patrice is retiring now, unfortunately, but yeah.
Didn't you say someone in his family was taking over though?
So
Or they're
his
not?
daughter Mia is running the business now, but they do a lot of distribution. So they do Warwick in the UK, they do Sadowski in the UK as well, Music Nomad.
So they might not be making anymore. So it was just
Yeah, so they're doing the final batch of orders, but I don't know what the plan is after that. But
right.
yeah, hopefully they'll do something. Be nice if they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, Patrice is he's hanging up his hat, unfortunately, but it's fair enough.
It's something that it's something we've stolen on these one strings that Toby had on his Vigier that he showed me, is with the string tree is the ball end of a guitar string. Is that coming? That's not going to go in focus.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, that's look cool. How did you mount it in there?
So it's got a little kind of round ferrule with a little grub screw in it that screws into it and then pushes down.
Right
Does that
on.
make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, not an original idea, but a very cool one to borrow.
It works well.
Yeah, because on the first versions of these that we did, they didn't have string trees, but it definitely helps.
Yeah, it does.
It's not essential for some of them.
Yeah, but it's kind of
And
cool.
so the sale price, how much are you selling those for when you go to the show?
Tomorrow, I'm on a train going across town, and it's like 2.5, 3 hours each way, my journey. I'm going to be adding up all the money we spent on building the 7 that we've been building, all the hours we put into it, and try and work out what a sale price might be.
Okay.
But the first ones we made, so this is the first prototypes we made, these ones, we sold them for £95 at the last show, which is a bit too cheap for this was all reclaimed stuff. But as soon as you start buying in fretboards and stuff, you can't sell them for £95. It's crazy. It's crazy when you think about that, and then you think about buying factory produced guitars for less than that. But so we still got 2 of these which we'll probably sell at the same. And the very first ones I made were £50 just for charity, and people seemed absolutely fine buying these for 50 quid. Seemed totally fine buying them for 95.
Yeah.
But at the actual price of how much they cost us, which I haven't worked out yet, we're going to find out at this show if people are up for that cost. And my feeling is I hope they are.
I really hope they are as well.
And if they're not, then it's not a viable thing to do.
Well, I think this is cool. This I've just quickly mounted my test pickup there just to see how it looks. But yeah, that is wound on my girlfriend's grandmother's old sewing machine. And I'm quite happy with the results. And I was testing them yesterday, and they're actually fairly high output considering their size as well, which is good. So yeah, I'm happy.
They look so cool. They get a total vibe. I like how you have the offset part of the body there. It just looks cool.
Yeah, so like the first ones were not really offset. They were just more or less the table leg. Yeah. And then the next ones we made were a bit more shaped because Toby played with them for a bit and then suggests that offset shape. We're changing the way the output jack works for these to make it a bit more space inside for the wiring. So they keep progressing every iteration. And then with the bobbin pickups, because if we had to start buying pickups and all, the prices go up again.
Yeah.
But we've had to, it could be that we just keep making them and just keep trying to find reclaimed stuff everywhere. But there's a limit to how many bridges and things like that I've got left over from old builds. And so you've got to start buying bits in sometimes, unless we start making our own bridges. But then potentially that won't make it cheaper. Barry said, do they come in drop D? Look, what we haven't done yet, so we want to get these ones right. But the other prototypes I had, this one's got an octave on it. So it's got a bass and a guitar E. I don't know if that's tuned to E. I don't know what that is, but this one doesn't really work.
It's drop D.
Probably drop D. And then got one with 2 guitar strings on. So we're thinking about that, and also we were thinking about, if people like them, of making some out of nicer wood where we spend a lot longer carving and sanding them and making them a bit more high end.
Yeah. Hey, when you tomorrow, when you are calculating the costs, right, for materials and level of effort, try to do a subset of that and see how much it costs to build and make the pickups. I'm kind of curious what the, with time and effort, with cost, because a while back, a couple of years ago, I made a pickup out of a relay, right? These are off-the-shelf relay, because it's a round coil. It's the exact same shape and size as your bobbin. And I bought a box of them on like Temu or AliExpress or something. And all they need is a tiny magnet, because they're already wound. It's like a wound, and they sounded fine. I have a couple of videos I did on those.
I remember that.
Maybe they're not as loud as yours. And I don't remember how much I paid, but I did buy I still have them. I never used them all. A box of them from AliExpress. And so that might be a cheaper route if you're trying to get costs down. And I would suggest the same kind of mentality, just off the shelf parts like that, or repurposed parts. Yeah.
I saw a video recently of a guy. I think he took a power supply apart and used the coil from that to make a pickup.
Yes.
Cool.
Same thing.
So,
Yeah.
Same concept.
I bought a book on oh, not cigar box guitars, cigar box amps, I think they call it. It's like making amps yourself. And it was written by someone who's obviously technically quite knowledgeable, but it's quite hard to understand a lot of what he wrote. And because I don't have that technical knowledge, but a lot of it was what you can make using things around your house. So old LED light bulbs, he was taking them apart to show which diodes you can use for things. And chargers, power chargers were key to making certain power amps that he was using.
Nice.
That's funny, because like you can take apart a vintage like smoke detector and you could build a fuzz pedal out of that. Like there's transistors in there, there's diodes in there, there's, you know what I mean? Like you could take all the components in there and repurpose them to build a fuzz pedal. Like they're all in there. You don't know how high the gain is on those transistors, but there's certainly transistors in a smoke detector.
Brilliant. Well, I think I've got an old one kicking around somewhere that committed suicide off my ceiling. So I'm going to take it. Well, it took itself apart, so I'm going to take it apart even more.
One of the problems of pricing things, I'm sorry to go on about us now. One of the problems of pricing things is when we did the first prototypes, we were learning how everything fitted together. And then for this one, there's not been that many changes really. So the time we spent building is more or less the time that we would spend building. And making 7 in a go definitely saves time. Like when I was putting the tuning pegs on yesterday, the time to do 7 was really quick, but not much longer than the first one took, getting all the tools out and everything like that. So basically we can price it, I think, on quite a good rate. But with the pickups, Toby spent quite a lot of time developing them. So what it would be, I think, is once Toby knows how to make them, then we know how much they cost going forward making them on that time. But obviously, you have to include all your design and iteration time in prices and in costing. But if we were to make 100 of them, it would
take a while.
Neil said to find out the price, take the cost of a 6-string and divide it by 6. Well, the new Bowden that we just went by Strandberg, that's $2,500. So
there we go. Perfect.
Yeah,
great.
Another quick question on the pickups. Like, what kind of material do you use for the pole? Do you have a pole in there? Like
I'm using magnets. I've got them here.
Oh.
Bear with me a second. In my bag of tricks somewhere, I have a little box with all my magnets. They're just like 5mm by 2mm.
So the whole thing's a magnet.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's not
right
magnets. It's in here somewhere.
And what Toby's done is he's wrapped the magnets with electrical tape, and they fit absolutely snugly in there. And they have this, what you can't see here is the little black circle around them. And when you did some tests, you did it different colours as well, which looked quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's yeah.
And then we've got one at the bottom of the pickup, and a matching one inside the pickup cavity, and it just magnetizes, sticks itself in. Don't have to screw it in.
Yeah.
Pops out quite easily.
It's just about five of these little guys. Yeah.
Good job on the 3D printing there too, Daniel. Like,
Oh yeah, like so when
Big time.
Toby worked out how it fitted together, I spent a morning doing little iterations of how to fit it together. It's got little I forgot what they're called. Copper crimp. I thought they're called.
It's glued up.
But yeah, here's a glued up one. Bit messy, but
Yeah.
that's what's inside it. Yeah, it works really well. It's very neat.
Yeah.
you definitely put a lot of R&D into it. That's awesome. They look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm hoping. If we can get these 7 out of the way,
Yeah.
then we've got a basis for making more or making alternative versions, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've managed to get the winding down to just under 15 minutes. So it takes me about an hour to assemble one now, roughly, give or take. So
Yeah, that's nice. I'm sure you get even faster.
yeah, well,
But
yeah,
what? So I know we're talking about saving money and using other things. Once we got them going, got some photos of them, we can start doing some social media stuff. I love the idea of filming Toby's setup because it is on this old sewing machine, and then the wire, the pickup wire, you've got like just stuck on an old what are they called? The glue gun, the things, sealant guns.
yeah,
and they've got that like tip that goes on them. You've sort of stuck that on a lump of wood, the tip, and then the bobbin goes around that with the actual wire on it. Feeds off. It's quite cool. But because it's an old machine, you said you have to wait.
Oh god, I have
Between
to wait
each
for it to
wind.
cool down. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other day I got a bit too carried away and I was using it. I went for a second one straight away and it started smoking. So better stop doing that.
Good social media content, maybe.
Yeah, true. Yeah, God, yeah. It was just a bit of wood with dowel and then a caulk, kind of, I don't know what you call it. Yeah, the little
nozzle
bit. Yeah, nozzle. Yeah, it works. Yeah, I haven't broken too many bits of wire yet. Hopefully, but yeah, works.
Nice. Well, hopefully we'll have some demos of them after next weekend.
Oh yeah, I want to hear it.
Yeah, I want to hear it as well.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I mean, what I'm most interested in is hearing people play them.
Yeah.
And see how they use them. I feel like something like that is an opportunity to be a bit more or be creative in a different way. So just approach sitting around noodling differently, and that might trigger something new or something different.
Exactly. That's the whole point of building for me. Like, you got to be able to have something new that you approach differently, and hopefully that inspires you to write something and compose something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to get them in a band. Actually, maybe I could come on with your band and
yeah, there you go. Yeah, a little solo.
The background. Ed might be up for that.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
Yeah, Barry's saying we need a TikTok star. Anyone know a TikTok star?
My cousin, I don't know. If
Oh, yeah, you mentioned getting him.
Yeah, he's a super talented kid. Like he's just finished uni now, and he's a sound engineer, just all round super talented kid, and he's really cool. He's a really nice guy. He's very funny. He's a great entertainer. I'm going to put one in his hands next time I see him. Yeah.
Nice. Refinish an electric toothbrush for strumming purposes. What have I got? Is it still here? I've just got things around my shop that have been here for ages. So this has been here since I moved here. I think I had it in my old workshop. So it could be 6 or 7 years. It is a it's got no battery in it. It's a milk frother, and I took the end off, and I was going to try and make it into an Ebo.
Oh, what?
Because it could like some sort of vibrating, get the string to. But anyway, yeah, I guess that's a similar to an electric toothbrush.
Oh, you know what? I've got an old electric toothbrush at home that we could take apart.
It's what Eddie's saying in the chat. I'm assuming he's saying it because he's just had the idea and not he's seen someone else do it. But maybe.
Man, I'm really liking this electric toothbrush idea. Like, I'm really liking it. You gotta try it.
I think that should be our new challenges. Instead of building guitars, building small things that don't take long, but are innovative in a way.
So would this be like Van Halen or Paul Gilbert?
You imagine Paul Gilbert with an electric toothbrush? That's probably good. It makes it sound good.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I saw a website that takes IKEA things.
Yeah.
This isn't an IKEA one.
Yeah.
But they take IKEA things and show you how you can hack them to be other things.
Oh, yeah.
So it had like the word hack and then some Scandinavian words connected to it. But the things it suggests you doing with milk frothers are not appropriate for today's conversation. Meanwhile, can I share some screens?
Yes.
I want to share 2 things I've seen the last couple of days that I thought were really interesting. Let's see if I can do it. One of them is this. Let's go to the top. Ruinous Guitars. Oh, yeah. And they've come up on my feed a while ago, and I've been following them since. But what I like is their instruments. Like that. So here's a headstock. So it's got this metal sort of headstock that literally screws onto any old neck and makes it their guitar. So obviously if they're making their guitar, they'd make it without that headstock already on it. But I like the idea that they can essentially upscale stuff or parts cast stuff. And I love the fact it's clearly nicely made and nicely milled, but it's got this sort of finish when they put the paint on that makes it look rough and sort of apocalyptic in some ways.
It's really cool.
I love it. I love the look of it.
I dig it. That's kind of similar to the way Rick Toon makes his headstocks. He machines them out of aluminum. At least some of his models, he had like that aluminum headstock that you could bolt onto like a wooden neck.
Is that the one you that's not the one you reviewed recently, is it?
No.
But I just like all their parts. So this is obviously a CNC designed guitar they had. So, sorry, what's the name of the guy you just mentioned? Rick Toon?
Rick Toon, yeah. He's one of the other like really innovative builders out there currently. He makes aluminum necks now, but he did have some models very similar to that.
Right, I've got him opened on my computer to look at later. And the other thing I wanted to show you was just because it felt like something that was different, but not different at the same time. And it was, I mean, maybe you all know this, but it was a post I saw of someone that was at a Red Special convention. So a place where people that build the Brian May style guitars get together to show off their builds and sometimes to sell them. I think there's a market there, but a lot of it seemed to be that it was people coming together for the love of building, essentially. So I saw this one, which I thought was cool. So it's pink. It's pink and shiny.
That's awesome.
I just thought it's like a really cool, different take on it. Because I mean, maybe I've seen them in other colours, but I've only ever seen people kind of replicating the originals. But here's another one of his. Sweet. I think they're really cool. There we go. Back to stop sharing.
Oh, just a quick one about the company that I was saying about earlier. So there's a company called Dirty Boy that have just started making guitars, and so Danny, one of the guys that's kind of really driving it and doing the designs and stuff, he's a massive Queen and Brian May fan. He was like playing, he's doing all the guitar parts for like the stage show in Spain and stuff like that, and the guitars that they're doing now are very kind of, you can see where the influence is, but they're really cool.
I've just done a search for Dirty Boy guitars, and it's not been. Oh, that's them, is it?
Yeah,
that's them.
Yeah, so they do pedals as well.
Let's see if I can find a guitar, and I'll share the picture.
No, that's not.
That's not him.
No, I don't know what that is.
That was I
That looks
clicked
kind
on
of cool though.
the Dirty Boy. He must have. This might be again great live stream here. That I just found the page. It must be someone that was playing one of the Dirty Boy pedals.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Yeah. So maybe they don't have Instagram or.
No, they do. Yeah, he does. But yeah, he's always posting. But yeah, once I have a look at some point. But
is it called Dirty Boy?
Yeah. So just go back, and then Dirty Boy.
There
Dirty
it is.
Boy pedals. Yeah. So that's.
Oh, there's one. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll share this. There we are.
Yeah. There you go. They're really cool.
Oh yeah, you can see the inspiration, and are they Brian May pickups?
They look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't zoom in anymore. Yes, I can. Trisonic.
Oh,
Brian May. Are they? I can't see what it says at the top. It might be someone else's.
Wow. Yeah.
I like the Vega. I really want to try a Vega trem like that. I was talking about trems last week. I don't want to try them for playing purposes because I'm just not a good enough player and I've not got the experience of really using trems because I always lock mine down. I just want to experience setting one up and feeling how it works and how different it is, and if it's better or if it's different in some way.
Oh yeah, right, there's Danny here.
Right, I'm going to do a follow and I'll look at more later. Cool.
Nice.
Well, this time next week will be a couple of days after the show. I think I'll be working on the Monday. I was contemplating taking a day off because I've been doing weekends and late nights. So somehow between shows, I fail to make guitars. And then when there's a show coming up, I just rush and still don't finish them. I don't know what's going on. I've got to sort that out. But my new plan is come Monday after the show, carry on with these, obviously. But I'm going to try and finish a guitar a week, just focus on one guitar a week. Because I've got a lot that are nearly finished. But it all depends, because I've had a couple of jobs come in, so that might deviate it. That Hagstrom guitar that I showed a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to restain that afterwards, but that's not a massive job. And, do you know who Kate Nash is? Kate Nash. Yeah. Oh, so her touring manager contacted me.
Really?
Her bass needs repairing.
Cool.
She started playing a bass again that she's had for many years, and they found in a storage unit. She played it live, and it fell apart. So I got through the set, but it needs a bit of repair work. But I thought that was quite.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
We got a lot of good gigs coming up, Daniel. That all sounds like fun.
All nice little fun things. It'd be great to so the person who's bringing that in, maybe, I don't know, I haven't met them yet, might be a touring manager for some other bands. I think basically what seems to be happening is hopefully people are happy with the work that I did with the bands that I've been doing some work with, and they're telling other people, so hopefully it's spreading a bit like that. And a lot of bands or people who manage the bands, at least, seem to be based around Brighton. So a lot of times the people in the band store their stuff near where the managers are or the tour managers are, because that makes it easier for the tour managers to ship it around the world, I guess. Around the space.
It's around space.
Yeah, around space. Yeah. One day, who's going to have the first guitar played off planet?
Oh my God.
Elon Musk.
Douglas Adams, in one of the Douglas Adams books, he's talking about a band that's so loud that it changes the orbit of the planet they're playing on.
I remember that scene in the book where they couldn't even play on the same planet. They needed to be off-world, right? The
Yeah.
amps are on the other planet.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. He had some crazy ideas.
It
So
did,
on that
yeah.
note, I was watching YouTube the other day when my children were playing. I don't often get the chance to sit there and just put YouTube on in the background. And do you know who Jules Holland is, Mark?
Mm-mm.
So Jules Holland is a TV presenter in this country, but he's also a pianist in various bands. He was in a band called Squeeze. But then he has his own rhythm and blues orchestra that are well known, that tour and often collaborate with people. But he has a show where he gets musicians on from all around the world, including quite often up and coming musicians, right next to really well known musicians playing. And he might get up and jam with them a bit. And in this episode, it was his whole rhythm and blues orchestra had Lemmy come on and play Ace of Spades. So the music started, and so the rhythm and blues orchestra have like brass bits playing along as well. So it's playing, and my eldest looked up at the screen. She's like, "Who is this guy?" And then he started singing. She was like, "It's not my music." Oh, what a shame. But he's the sort of person that would have been in the band that rock planets and changed orbits. I saw them play live once, Motorhead, and yeah, they were supported by the Wild Hearts, and Ginger came on and played with them for a bit, which was great. But so they were playing, and then the guitarist said, "Should we make it louder?" And it was already so loud, like it was really loud. And you know when people say, "Should we make it louder?" and everyone's like, "Yeah," and they turn it up, and it's not really louder. They turned it up, and it was louder. It's like, I remember my body shaking. It was incredible, absolutely amazing. Yeah, bonkers.
I saw Electric Wizard last year, and I swear I've never witnessed anything louder. They were, they were awesome, but oh my god,
The pain.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I mentioned this before, and I went to see Toby's band, and all the bands, apart from maybe your band, all the bands that are playing all had in-ear monitors or ear protectors that they were wearing, and they gave out to the audience ear protectors as well at the venue.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
there was a lot of loud bands, but that's very different to when I was a teenager or when I was playing gigs. Yeah, everyone just
true. Yeah, don't have earplugs.
Yeah. So we've rambled on. We've gone totally off tangent, but there you go. Maybe we should end there. Mark, thanks for the info on Ken Parker, and I'm definitely going to check out his YouTube channel. Sounds like an archive of knowledge.
For sure.
Great. And everyone, if you don't know much about Ken Parker, that Andre Fludd video that was on YouTube, I'll put that in the description later. It's brilliant because it is like a potted history of his life and his innovations. So it's fantastic. Great. All right. See you next week, Mark. See you next week, everyone.
Peace.
Thanks, Toby.
Take it easy.
See you. Bye.